Thanks to Coach Brown for joining us as we preview the Strasburg High School Limon football game coming up tonight, Saturday night football, 7 p.m. from Winter Field. But first, Coach, got to talk a little bit about last Friday, home game versus the Wiggins Tigers, one of the best games I'd ever seen. 2 lightning delays, 2 overtimes, sprinklers going off in the field, one of the most interesting games I'd ever seen. What did you learn about your team last Friday night?
Well, it was funny, and I have to start out, Kevin, by saying I apologize to all the fans for such a boring football game.
Yeah,
but it was kind of ironic how that game went. When I always give a pregame speech, and one thing I talked about before the game was heart. And I knew it was going to take a lot of heart this game because Wiggins was such a physical football team, big kids, and just knowing the style of football they played, I knew it was going to take more than just effort. It was going to take a lot of heart. And, throughout that game, I think we proved that we had heart. We kept going when things would go bad. We would, we kind of buck up a little bit. And I think throughout that game, and I think truthfully at the end, heart won out.
Well, and the Lightning didn't do you any favors. You're up 14-0, about 9.5 minutes to go in the football game for the first delay. So the change of momentum at that time frame, how were you able to mentally come back after another Lightning delay as you got into overtime?
Well, that, and you're exactly right. I thought, up 14-0, we just get an interception. We stop a big drive by Wiggins, and then we go into that first Lightning delay. I think there was 9 minutes and 36 seconds left in the game. And it was kind of one of those back and forth. Is this Lightning delay good for us to kind of gather ourselves? But, obviously that next 5 minutes when we came back from that first delay was 100% controlled by Wiggins. But I thought that's where a lot of our effort really kind of came in is after we get tied 14-14, that 2-point conversion stop to keep us tied was huge. And then I thought the last 4 minutes, we kind of played back and forth. We had a great kickoff return, and, we get down into their, we're down inside the 10, 4th and 2. We called a play and we didn't execute it. I was real close to trying to PAT, but with the winds the way they were, I just didn't feel real confident in it. But I really thought that last 4 minutes of the fourth quarter leading up into overtime was huge for us because we kind of got throttled there for a while, but we withstood it. And so we get into overtime, and of course that Lightning delay was, again, something that we had to try to figure out what are we going to do with this. Coming in, and then all of a sudden first overtime, Wiggins scores. They get a 2-point conversion. Next thing you know, we're at 4th down, and we get a pass interference in the end zone. And then I thought, this was where I was really proud of my quarterback. He kind of struggled a little bit that last part of the fourth quarter, but he came out through 2 great passes. We get a touchdown pass to Austin Velasco and then a 2-point conversion. So at that point, I was starting to feel like, we are really gaining confidence right now. So then we go into that second overtime, and we get a nice little swing pass to Caleb Hart, and he just tremendous effort to get in the end zone. And then, my kicker, I had confidence in him, and he gets us ahead by that 1 point. So felt pretty good about that.
Well, you did have a lot of confidence in your kicker, Julian Valencia, and he's had an excellent career, and also had a lot of confidence in your defense because the Wiggins Tigers, a fantastic running team. You probably know they're going to go for 2 if they do score, and it came down to 1 play and 1 big stop.
It did. Great call by my defense coordinator, Coach Jordan Ross. Wiggins kind of did us a favor by calling timeout right before that 2-point conversion. So it gave Coach Ross a chance to dial in. He basically dialed in an all-out blitz and said either we're gonna stop them, they're gonna run the ball and we're gonna stop them, or they're gonna trick us and passes. And but we were pretty confident. Wiggins, they're big and physical, and we really knew that's exactly what I would have done. I would have went to my main strength to try to get that last score. So kids just they bucked up, they played hard, and we get a tackle for a loss on that last play, and it was pretty exciting.
Well, you leave one great team in the Wiggins Tigers and then go to the number one ranked team this weekend, the Limon Badgers. First of all, as coaching staffs, you guys are completely familiar with one another. Great respect across the board for both teams. Do you expect essentially the same kind of game out of the Limon Badgers tonight?
Absolutely. That's why Limon is so good. Their coaching staff is just incredible in the way they do what they do. Their technique is absolutely 100% each time. And that's what I've tried to stress to these kids all week long. Wiggins, I don't think Lyman's going to be bigger, stronger, faster than what we just played in Wiggins, but what you're going to find out is they do everything exactly right. So that's where, we've worked so hard this week on our techniques, on our blocking schemes, on our assignments, because you can't make mistakes against a team like Limon. Watching film, Limon is exactly who they are. They're big. Their offensive linemen get after you. They've got the Shoebarth kid at running back is just, he was a 2A or whatever they are in track, state champion. He's fast. He's big. They had a transfer kid from Florence come in, another good running back. Their quarterback isn't quite as experienced as they've had in the past, but he knows how to run the offense. And so I don't think we're going to see anything different from Limon that we've seen the last several years.
So we're going into this going to be a relatively cold weather game, and it's definitely going to be wet. Does that change the strategy aspects from either side?
No, it really can't. We've got a game plan going into this tonight, and we're going to stick with our game plan. It's raining. We're hoping that it stops here pretty soon and we get a few hours to dry the field a little bit. It's going to be sloppy. It's going to be chilly out, and but you know what? We work on things, and I think the kids are ready. I think the kids are focused, and I think they're going to come out and they're going to run our game plan, and I think we're going to play well tonight.
Well, I asked you last week about preparing for a big game, and you basically said that every game is going to be that big game for you, but this is definitely a big game. What does it give your players having the opportunity to be in a game? This is number one versus number three in the state. Being in a game like this, what does it do for them?
Well, I hope it gets them excited. I truly believe that, and I'm going to be mundane and say the same thing. We have not approached this game, again, number one versus number three. We've approached this game as week 3. We have a ladder, and we're trying to, step up each rung of that ladder, and every week is a challenge for us. Limon is the biggest challenge that we're going to have. It's not only a challenge because they're an excellent football team, it's a challenge mentally. We have not been able to beat Limon in the last few years. They've stymied our offense. So we've got a lot of things to prove to ourselves. Number one, that our schemes work. Number two, that our preparation is good. And more importantly, number 3, we just got to gain confidence that we are a good football team, that we have the ability to go very far this year. And Limon is, again, one more of those huge challenges that we have to face, and not only physically, but mentally. And so that's how we've approached this football game. That's how we're going to approach every football game. If we don't, then things slide by us. So this is what we're going to do this week. We're going to play this as week 3. We're going to play this as a huge challenge, and we're going to play it as, again, another week to just get better.
Well, Coach, 7 p.m. tonight, live from Winter Field. Best of luck.
Thanks.